Manufacturers label them breakthroughs, yet these 15 foolish automotive additions are destroying your vehicle's durability quicker than you realize. From malfunctioning electronics to expensive tricks, they collapse prematurely and drain your wallet by thousands. Several are already being removed from upcoming year models. To dodge unexpected maintenance bills and extend your vehicle's lifespan, stay tuned. Number 15. Cabin Mood Illumination. Cabin mood illumination ranks among the most pointless additions in contemporary automobiles. Manufacturers market it as premium luxury, yet truthfully it transforms your interior into a distracting light show. Pulsing hues, rhythm-responsive flashes, and atmosphere settings. It resembles a mobile discotheque more than refined elegance. During nighttime drives, conditions worsen. Rather than enhancing concentration, it diverts your focus from what matters, the highway ahead. Countless owners deactivate it within the first week. Why? Because it delivers absolutely no practical benefit whatsoever. It doesn't enhance safety metrics, it doesn't boost visibility conditions, and it certainly doesn't hold up over years of use. Even more troubling, it introduces another potential breakdown point. LED ribbon strips, brightness adjusters, and electronic modules all deteriorate eventually. When failure arrives, fixing them isn't economical. Cabin mood illumination doesn't elevate sophistication. It compounds complexity, distraction, and future expense. Skip the disco vibes and invest in something genuinely useful. Number 14. Multifunction wheel buttons. You'd assume controls embedded directly into your steering apparatus would simplify operation, yet in practice, they're a usability nightmare. Minuscule switches, clumsy scroll wheels, and zero uniformity. Volume adjustment on one panel, track selection on another, and half the time you can't identify what you've activated. Certain vehicles even alter functions following firmware updates. Seriously, attempt skipping a track and abruptly you're modifying cruise settings. It's awkward, diverting, and worst of all, hazardous. Even a momentary glance downward can prove catastrophic. And don't expect lasting durability either. These switches degrade rapidly. Unresponsive presses, sluggish reactions, or complete failure. What manufacturers intended to streamline driving simply introduces additional malfunction risks. Straightforward, intuitive design defeats technological overload every single time, especially when that overload sits beneath your thumbs. Number 13. Speech command systems. Speech command technology in automobiles sounds revolutionary until you actually attempt using it. Say, "Dial Sarah," and your vehicle plays Santana. Request climate adjustment, and suddenly you're engulfed in maximum volume audio. You yell, rephrase, and ultimately surrender, wondering why you didn't simply tap the physical control initially. These platforms struggle with regional dialects, ambient sounds, or even brief hesitations. During urgent situations, they're completely worthless. Imagine this scenario. You're facing crisis, and rather than connecting emergency services, your automobile suggests nearby restaurant locations. What's more troubling, when malfunction occurs, and it absolutely will, it's financially painful. This isn't straightforward servicing at your local shop. It's an overpriced, error-riddled novelty disguised as advancement. Speech command systems should assist. Instead, they transform your automobile into a bewildered, unhelpful companion that never comprehends when urgency strikes. Number 12. Proximity unlocking. Proximity unlocking may appear like advancement to numerous people. No physical key, no complications. Simply approach, press a switch, and depart. Yet realistically, it's a persistent annoyance. There's nowhere logical to store the transmitter, so it merely floats around in your pocket or purse until it vanishes. When it disappears, good fortune starting your automobile without a $400 substitute. But what's significantly more concerning is that it renders your automobile substantially easier to hijack. Technology-savvy criminals can duplicate or intercept your transmission and drive away. No shattered windows, no triggered alarms. Meanwhile, traditional physical keys still accomplish the task without converting your automobile into a hacker's playground. It's marketed as ease, but it's genuinely just vulnerability and hassle wrapped in a sleek switch. Sometimes basic is wiser. Number 11. Automated parking guidance. Let's be realistic. When was your last occasion requiring your automobile to maneuver itself? For most operators, this capability sits dormant, resembling a fitness membership you regret purchasing. When you attempt activating it, it's sluggish, clumsy, and occasionally miscalculates entirely. That's the core problem. It addresses a challenge that scarcely exists while generating new complications you never requested. If it scrapes another vehicle, who shoulders responsibility? You, the technology, or the manufacturer? Good fortune determining that outcome. Don't overlook, every additional platform represents another potential breakdown. Detectors malfunction, alignment drifts, and suddenly your automobile won't park or won't cease attempting. Meanwhile, your personal maneuvering abilities deteriorate. It's among those innovations that sounds beneficial, but primarily just introduces expense, bewilderment, and liability. Perhaps we don't require parking assistance. Perhaps we simply need less complicated automobiles that aren't automatons. Number 10. Touch-sensitive interfaces. What once was a straightforward switch is now a speculation challenge on glass. Want to modify the radio or tweak the climate? Better hope the display responds. Touch-sensitive interfaces and capacitive panels may appear futuristic, yet in actual application they're a maddening disaster. Miss the correct tap and you're generating frigid air rather than increasing audio volume. When these platforms freeze, which they frequently do, you can forfeit access to your temperature management, rear camera, or even velocity readout. That's not merely irritating, it's dangerous. Operators have documented delays, errors, and total shutdowns. When something malfunctions, good fortune replacing a display. It's not quick servicing, it's a substantial invoice. Physical switches had one responsibility, and they executed it excellently. With touch-sensitive platforms, you're compensating more for technology that performs brilliantly in demonstrations and terribly everywhere else. Number 9. Electronic gear selectors. You shouldn't require contemplation when shifting into drive, yet with electronic and rotary selectors, that's precisely what occurs. They're streamlined, space-efficient, and perplexing, especially when you require quick action. Tap the incorrect selection and you're abruptly in neutral rather than reverse. During genuine emergencies, that hesitation can trigger collision. Numerous operators complain these configurations feel counterintuitive and diverting. Chevrolet's rotary-style selector is among the most discussed, yet the challenge extends beyond one manufacturer. It's a shift-by electronics platform that depends entirely on circuitry. There's no tactile response, no instinctive muscle memory, just illuminated indicators and hoping the platform acknowledges. If a detector malfunctions, you're immobilized. These aren't minor fixes either. Traditional selectors weren't defective. Manufacturers simply replaced them to appear contemporary and abandoned you with one additional electronic vulnerability point in the process. Number 8. Cylinder direct fuel delivery. It's promoted as efficiency technology, yet cylinder direct fuel delivery arrives with an unpleasant consequence nobody cautions you about. By injecting fuel straight into the combustion chamber, it bypasses the intake passages completely, meaning zero cleaning action. Over duration, stubborn carbon accumulates on those passages like hardened grease. The outcome: irregular idling, combustion failures, diminished power, and eventually a laboring engine. Fuel treatments won't assist. They can't access the buildup. It's not in the reservoir. It's baked onto the components. The solution? Walnut media blasting. And no, that's not economical. It involves propelling crushed particles into your engine to remove the contamination. Several manufacturers have addressed this with combined injection. Most haven't. Therefore, while cylinder direct fuel delivery sounds like victory, it's more like a delayed catastrophe beneath your hood. You'll conserve at the fuel station until you're compensating for a thorough cleaning simply to maintain the engine functioning. Number 7. Electronic instrument panels. Ever examined your dashboard and wondered, what am I even observing? What once was two simple dials, velocity and fuel, has transformed into an illuminated confusion of symbols, alerts, and menus. One moment, it's tire inflation. The next, it's a symbol you've never encountered in your existence. So, you halt, mobile device in hand, searching what your own automobile is attempting to communicate. Electronic panels may appear futuristic, yet they're delicate. One firmware error, one defective detector, and the entire display can freeze or darken. No velocity, no fuel, just blind estimation at 60 miles per hour and fixing it. Not straightforward, not economical. This is technology that operates until it doesn't. Then you're trapped with a perplexing dashboard and a maintenance invoice to correspond. Flashy isn't always practical, and in this instance, it's simply over-engineering in camouflage. Number 6. Pneumatic suspension platforms. Initially, it feels like sorcery. Your automobile floats over potholes like they're recommendations. Yet that smooth, cushioned journey, it's one microscopic puncture away from catastrophe. One pinhole in the pneumatic bladder, and suddenly your automobile slouches like it's experienced an exhausting day. The compressor panics, operates continuously, and incinerates itself. Now your suspension's destroyed, and so is your financial account. It doesn't conclude there. When one component malfunctions, the remainder follow like cascading dominoes. Detectors, regulators, tubing, they all begin failing one after another. You'll detect hissing beneath the panel, groaning over obstacles, perhaps even witness your automobile sag like it's abandoned on existence. Even automatic leveling platforms aren't protected. They simply malfunction louder and expense more. Pneumatic suspension delivers you comfort, yet when it malfunctions, it doesn't hesitate. It crashes violently. You'd better hope your reserves have impact protection. Number 5. Forced induction engines. Forced induction units promise velocity and efficiency, yet they arrive with complications. That boost forces extra pressure into your engine, straining gaskets, seals, cylinders, and cooling platforms. When one component fractures under pressure, the entire situation spirals. You're not simply driving quickly, you're driving hot, delicate, and expensive. Certainly several forced induction units endure, like Toyota's 2.4-liter, Honda's K20C, and Mazda's Skyactiv. Yet they're the uncommon exceptions. Most forced induction engines deteriorate quicker, demand premium servicing, and throw fits when they malfunction. When they collapse, it's rarely economical or quiet. Naturally aspirated engines may be slower, yet they're simpler, stronger, and constructed to endure. Forced induction delivers you instant satisfaction, then strikes you with long-term remorse. You're not simply exchanging fuel for power, you're exchanging reliability. When the boost diminishes, you're left holding the maintenance invoice. Number 4. Selective cylinder operation. Who believed deactivating portion of your engine while operating was sound judgment? That's literally what selective cylinder operation accomplishes. It shuts down several cylinders to conserve fuel, yet ends up destroying lifters, consuming oil, and demolishing engines in the process. Ram's 5.7-liter Hemi. Lifter malfunction is legendary. GM's 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter recognized for collapsing before 50,000 miles. When that platform malfunctions, it's not minor servicing. It's complete engine substitution, frequently exceeding $3,500. Honda's VCM and Mazda's Skyactiv platforms are moderately safer, yet even they arrive with liability. The worst aspect, the fuel conservation, is barely noticeable. You're gambling with your engine's wellness simply to extract a few additional miles. A quality motor should operate solid, not shut itself off mid-operation like it's malfunctioning. This isn't efficiency, it's engineered breakdown. Number 3. Idle stop automation. Idle stop platforms shut your engine off when you arrive at a halt, like at traffic signals, to conserve fuel and diminish emissions. Sounds intelligent theoretically, yet in practice they're hammering critical components every occasion they activate. Frequent restarts deteriorate your starting motor, burden your battery, and reduce engine oil pressure at the worst conceivable moment, precisely when your engine requires lubrication the most. In congestion or frigid weather, it becomes even worse. According to Consumer Reports, these platforms can reduce battery lifespan by up to 40%, especially in automobiles that require costly AGM or EFB batteries to maintain operation. That hesitation when the signal changes, it's your engine scrambling to awaken. The reality is this platform wasn't designed with your long-term durability in consideration. It was constructed so manufacturers could satisfy strict emissions regulations. If your automobile permits you to disable it, do it. Simply verify your warranty initially. Number 2. Twin-clutch gearboxes. Originally constructed for performance automobiles, twin-clutch gearboxes promise lightning-quick shifts and superior fuel economy on documentation. Yet in everyday operation, they're awkward, jerky, and struggle at reduced velocities. In stop-and-go congestion, they hesitate. In parking areas, they lurch. Smooth? Not even remotely. Ford's PowerShift, a reliability catastrophe. Hyundai and Kia's twin-clutch units stacked with complaints. When these mechanisms malfunction, and they frequently do, you're confronting a complex, costly repair. Substitutions can range anywhere from $1,500 to exceeding $3,000. Forget about self-service. These are sealed platforms constructed for specialists. Certainly on a racetrack, twin-clutch gearboxes shine, yet for daily operation, they introduce frustration without genuine benefit. A quality transmission should feel invisible. This one constantly reminds you it's there with every shudder, stall, and hesitation. Unless you're pursuing lap times, skip the twin-clutch unit. It's drama you don't require, and time isn't kind to it. Number 1. Automated driver assistance. It begins with a harmless notification. Then your steering apparatus jerks mid-lane like your automobile suddenly knows superior. These so-called automated driver assistance platforms, more tension than support. They overreact, misinterpret the highway, and frequently obstruct the path. A straightforward lane modification transforms into a tug of war. Encounter a shadow, faded marking, or piece of debris and the platform panics. You're not being assisted, you're being micromanaged. Genuine operation requires instinct. These platforms depend on detectors and algorithms that speculate. When those detectors malfunction, calibration expenses are brutal. Replacing a camera or radar detector can reach into 4 figures. Until automobiles can genuinely operate themselves, all this technology simply accumulates complexity, bewilderment, and long-term reliability complications. Automated driver assistance doesn't render you safer. It makes your automobile second-guess you. Contemporary automobiles are packed with technology that appears intelligent, yet secretly expenses you thousands in maintenance. Don't fall for the tricks. Which one of these additions do you find the most pointless? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to Engine IQ for more insightful content.